I need to know if this has ever happened to you guys on a run. If you ever gone for a run and completely blanked out and got back to your house and really don't remember much of anything. Maybe you've gone and you're driving down the road and you end up at work and it's a Saturday. My name's Steve Gonzer, physical therapist with Run Smart Online. I want to talk to you guys about a term called dorsal streaming habits, really fancy stuff, and how it applies to your running form. Because whether you realize it or not, your habits, for good or bad, are going to affect your running. Now, real quick before I forget, if you are interested in having us help you with your run form, look at your run form, tell you what you have to work on, maybe this weekend, next weekend, and beyond, go to the link in this post. We're less than 1 week away from closing out our 20% off offer, a 20% offer for our run analysis. But whenever runners go out and you're going through, like I say, going through the motions, you're going down the road, you're really not thinking about much, maybe you're trying to clear your head on a run. What you're doing there is you're running on a habit loop. So think about, I always use the example of tying your shoes. If you ever tie your shoes, it's not like you have to do the loop, swoop, and pull anymore, because deep down in your brain, you have this area that just stores habits, so you don't have to think about anything. So imagine if you went through your day and every second of your day, you had to think about, turning right, how to open a door, how to pick up a fork, how to use a spoon. Like, your day would be fairly exhausting, and you'd be pretty difficult. You just be exhausted all day thinking about everything. So your body stores these habit loops. And that's what happens with running as well. So when you go out on the road and your body just goes, the brain goes, oh, we're going to go for a run. I'm going to go get that habit loop from deep down in my brain, and I'm just going to run it, pun intended, and I'm just going to go out for my run. The problem with this is that if the habit loop is really faulty, it just runs a really bad loop that's inefficient, wastes energy, slows you down, and causes problems. So what I want to encourage you guys to do is to start thinking about how you can change your habit loop. When you go out for a run, going through a checklist and working on improving your form, because if you can rewire those bad habits, and it takes some time. I think I talked about recently, it takes an average of about 8 to 10 weeks to rewire bad habits. It's not 21 days, which I learned recently. It takes a lot longer than you would think. But if you start focusing on it, what'll happen is when you're going through the motions, you work on your run form, you'll actually go through the motions in a more efficient, safer, faster manner with better form. You just have to rewire the bad habit. It's really worth it, because if you think about running form, it not only can improve your speed, but it also can decrease your risk for injuries. There's not this whole idea of I'm just going to run more miles, which is, if they're just junk and really inefficient, wasting energy, increasing your risk for injury, it doesn't matter. So the key thing here is that you need to focus on improving your bad habits and identifying what you need to do. Now, real quick, if you want to improve your run form, here's what I recommend. First, you get evaluated and see what's going on. Here's the big pieces where most people are falling apart. The foot strike is really awful. They're reaching way too out and far in front of their center of mass, and it just causes a lot of braking forces. So if you're someone who really overstrides, definitely want to start focusing on improving that. If you're a shuffler, that's something that's separate that I would focus on. Remember, you're only going to focus on one thing at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. Foot strike, shuffling, or imbalance and weakness. So if you're really kind of like stiff all the time, you're feeling like you're floppy. I guess that's not a good word. It's a very medical word to use, floppy. But if you feel like you're just like struggling, it doesn't feel fluid, this is where you can really help and start buttoning up those loose ends and improving your run form. Don't focus on too many things at once. Identify one thing, focus, practice it. The cool thing is, guys, is you can focus on your running while you're running. You're already out there. You're already probably, zoning out anyways. Instead of zoning out, just dial in some run form, work on improving those bad habits, and it makes a huge difference. If you want some help with us showing you exactly what to work on in your running to run faster, to feel smoother on your runs, to prevent injury, go to the link in this post. We are less than a week away from closing our 20% offer on our run analysis, and leave questions in the comments, and I will go live and talk to you guys about those questions, said questions. All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.